Welcome
to Shamba, Uganda.
We are traveling all over Uganda to find hardworking farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need
to make their farms more productive and adapt to climate change.
We want to support them to get better yields and increase their income.
We will see how farmers can benefit from our experts' advice and turn their farms around into a profitable business,
while learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experience
on the Shamba Shape Up Uganda.
Put it up. This week we're visiting a young man who's starting out in farming.
But he's already doing really well.
We want him to do even better.
That's why we are bringing the Shamba Shape Up team to visit.
As a sign that we're here to help.
Because young farmers are the future of the country. Caris, what are you doing?
Caris, that's not the sign I was talking about.
Frob, just leave him. Let's go meet our farm.
Take that sign back. Is this a sign farmers like to see? Well, we hope so, because this week we're in Mpigi and we're visiting a young farmer, John Tusabe.
John's farm is close to the banks of Africa's biggest lake, Lake Victoria. One day we hope with our help, John will be one of Africa's biggest farmers.
So far, he's already managed to buy an acre of land to plant coffee.
And he's leased another acre for passion fruits.
He's already doing really well, but would like to help him do even better.
Let's go and meet him. Hi, John.
Hi, how are
My
you?
name is Aggie.
Hello.
Hello.
From Isha. We're from Shamba Shape Up.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What challenges have you faced so far?
It is climate. It affects my passion fruits, especially in dry season. The flowers of this passion fruit tend to dry off, which reduces the yielding capacity.
Yeah.
There is also another challenge of diseases. There is a disease which attacks these passion fruits and deform the fruits. The other side, I have younger coffee.
What kind of help would you like for your coffee?
I wanted them to look better and bring more yields.
Do you have any other challenges?
Another challenge it is time.
Time.
Time. This garden needs a lot of care. Sometimes I fail to be in this garden.
John,
Yes.
we don't come alone, so you don't have to worry. We come with experts that are going to give you all the knowledge and help that you need.
And maybe we can also help you with time. So don't worry. See you.
We're coming back shortly.
Caris.
Not again, what is it?
When I heard Shamba Shape Up, they are going to come on my farm, really I was so excited. I think everything requires some knowledge, even farming. Because when you have a knowledge on what you are doing, you can get a good living from farming.
Coffee is Uganda's biggest earning export crop. But can smallholder farmers like John also get profit from it? Let's find out. Here to show us how to do it is our very own coffee whisperer, Andrew Magombe from Cafe Africa.
John, are there any challenges you see on this coffee?
In the dry season, the climate might affect the coffee.
Yep.
It needs to be irrigated. Another challenge, soil erosion, which reduces the soil fertility.
You mentioned of soil erosion. You can see the land is slopey. There is a gentle slope, but we don't have things to stop the erosion. What would be most practical in this situation of John is, one, dig the trenches to hold the water. Any running water will be trapped by the trenches and is therefore used by the plants. Then two, plant cover crops to protect the soil, protect from losing water.
What do you mean cover crops?
Cover crops, these are short crops like groundnuts, soya beans, beans, even vegetables.
Okay.
So the other thing is, if you can, then you also mulch. And what is glaringly visible is you have left one stem growing. Every plant should be giving you 3 to 4 stems so that you can have a bigger yield. So that's one of the biggest challenges I see here.
So, Andrew,
Yes, please.
how can we stop the erosion from happening in here?
Okay, the quickest and most effective method on this and most effective method to dig trenches.
Caris! Please come and help. Caris, yeah, not again. As in, Andrew, please don't mind him. We keep telling him no. Frob, please come and help because Caris is...
Caris. Oh, whisperer.
This is what we wanted.
Please take that away.
You left this, Caris?
Yeah, this is what we wanted.
John, we're sorry. We don't usually do this. Caris, dig the chest. Okay, see you later.
Thank you so much, Frob.
Okay, Caris, now let's get down to digging the retention ditches, please. No more of your jokes. Has everyone gone mad? I'm sorry, Andrew. Now, let's get going with digging the retention ditches. First, we map out the line of the ditch. It should be 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep, and it should run across the field following the contour along the line of the slope with the soil piled uphill of the ditch. Keeping water in the soil is the first and most important step in boosting coffee production. Now, let's go and see how we can encourage the plants to produce more stems or suckers for a bigger coffee harvest.
We need to bend this coffee tree in order to produce more suckers.
Okay.
Right now, there's only one. Okay?
Okay.
So we need to bend to have at least more 3 to 4.
Okay.
That is having a bigger...
And this is the right time to bend it.
There are factors you look at in order to bend. One, if it is about knee high. The other factor you can look at is 6 months from planting. And if you are bending it, look at the direction of the sun. We bend the seedling facing the west, where the sun sets.
Okay.
And what we do, we use a stick and a banana fiber. Stick, hold this for me. Tie it here. Then bend it at around 45 degrees. So now the sun that rises in the morning hits here, and this will encourage other shoots to sprout.
Great! Now let's see how Caris is getting on digging the retention ditch. Remember, to be effective, the farmer will need several of these ditches to stop soil erosion. Wow! This is looking great.
Wow.
Here is a trench that has been constructed
Yes.
to conserve soil and water in this coffee garden. Important to notice that there's a tie band. This one helps to control the speed of running water. Once water enters this trench and fills this first section, it will slowly by slowly move to the next section. Again, next section. The water slowly by slowly seeps into the soil, and these plants will enjoy the water. The other important thing to note is that this trench has to be made in a V shape. You see, this has to be V. If it is U and there's water, it is easier to break and this soil falls. But if it's in the V shape, even if you put pressure here and you're walking here, it cannot fall in. Then this soil. The soil you put on the upper side helps to create a barrier so that if there's any water running, it will stop the soil.
Okay.
And there will be no soil being washed away.
Okay.
And with time, that land will flatten and the slope will reduce.
Nice.
To add on further stabilization of this mound, of this barrier, you need to plant stabilizers like napier grass. This is how we plant it. You just put it like that, and one here. Then put here and there. So the napier grass, once it grows, you keep cutting it and using it to mulch.
John,
Yes.
what do you think?
Really, this is something new I'm learning now.
Are you happy?
I'm so happy.
It always seems impossible until it is done.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much, Caris. So there you have it. Coffee can actually be a good business if you follow the right agronomical practices, which is why I love coffee. It is my passion. Frob, what is your passion?
My passion, right now as we speak, my passion, passion fruit. John has been doing well growing passion fruits and is making a good profit. But he's recently started noticing signs of disease among the fruits. So we've asked Robin Anagai, an expert from Naru, to come and give us some advice. Madam Robin,
Yes,
you're
sir.
here. How did you get here so fast?
I'm already here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Madam Robin, what did you see?
There are some challenges which I'm all seeing, and
Please show
and
us.
there are some problems which came right from the beginning. When you look at this passion fruit, this is Kawanda hybrid, which is heavy and which is high yielding. So the spacing, you made it so close. From one line to another one, it is supposed to be 10 feet. And when you follow the rows from one plant to another one, it is supposed to be 40 feet. So it is 40 by 10. Then at the same time, when you look around, you will also see that this Kawanda hybrid, it is too heavy. And it will require very big poles. And at the same time, you have to increase on their height. They are supposed to be 10 feet high, such that when we are fixing them down, you make 2 feet down. Then the third thing, it is these strings you used. They also look weak. I advise you that you keep on changing them slowly by using wire from gauge 8 to 10.
How big a problem diseases in passion fruits?
There is a big challenge which I'm seeing from here. This disease is very horrible to passion fruit growers. It's a virus disease, and when you don't take action, it will spread.
John, do you have a lot of these deformed?
Yes, I have this disease, but it is scattered in this garden.
It's called woodness virus disease. It makes the fruits very, very hard. The fruits become hard. As you look at it, you see that they are very hard. Some will not reach the mature stage at harvesting time.
What causes this?
It's a virus which is spread in this running water during rainy season. Even when you use our tools, we can spread them from one plant to another. So the moment you look at them and you see that this plant is very affected, you are supposed to cut it completely and dry it somewhere and burn it. Or you can bury the whole plant in the soil, because however much you spray, however much you do anything, they will not get cured. It's better you eliminate it before it is spread to other areas.
John, do you want Shamba Shape Up to help you with this passion fruit project?
Yes, if they can offer any help, I will come Shamba Shape Up.
You heard it straight from John. Let us see how we can protect his passion fruit so that he can get a bumper harvest. So, to stop the woodness virus disease spreading, John needs to remove the infected plants and burn them. And then to support the plants, the weaker poles should be replaced with these strong, sturdy poles. And then swap the string between them for 8 or 10 gauge wire. Okay, now let's see if I can find Aggie and see how she's been getting on.
Hey, Frob. Come, let's see.
Aggie,
How did it go?
I'm in love with the passion project. Caris!
Not again, Caris. Just ignore him because still to come after the break.
We meet a young climate activist and find out how farmers can best adapt to a changing climate.
And what can this be? A spaceship? It's fast, it's safe, it's clean, and it's nutritious. Stay with us and find out.
Welcome back.
To Shamba Shape Up, Uganda. We're in Mpigi and we're visiting John Tusabe.
We are going to be finding out how to reduce the impact of climate change.
And we feature this. Any guesses what it may be? Keep watching and find out. Aggie, we don't have time to waste.
No, we don't. See you. Not again, Caris. Anyway, we don't have time for this. What do you do when you feel things have gone wrong? You try and change them, right? But how can you change something that is affecting the whole world? Let's meet someone who's trying to do exactly that.
Across the world, young climate activists are raising awareness of climate change.
This is a do or die. People are busy drowning, people are busy starving to death because of the rising temperatures. And
John is a young farmer and so most at risk from the impact of climate change. So, we've invited climate activist Ayebare Denise to tell us all about her work and some of the things farmers like John can do to minimize the impact of climate change.
What's your organization about and what do you do exactly?
I'm a climate activist working with Fridays for Future, which is a whole holistic organization that brings together activists around the world for a better environment.
Let's have a look and what inspired you to be part of all this?
Well, coming from an indigenous community that relies on agriculture to thrive and also cattle farming, and seeing how cows were being affected, but also how farmers were not thriving, their output was very low. The land is no longer functioning the way it used to be, but we're also having changing weather patterns. So seeing the effects of climate change, it inspired me to make sure I save a number of people staying in my community, but also what they rely on.
So what is climate change?
Climate change is something that has patterns that we have, where we now have the rising temperatures, we have the floods around the world, we have the landslides, people are displaced, refugee crisis, for young people being affected, education, every aspect of our lives is being halted because of climate change.
John,
Yes.
for the time you've been farming, have you noticed these adverse climate changes that would have affected you?
Yeah, it have affected me, especially in the dry season. My passion fruit and coffee flowers tend to dry off, which reduces the crop yielding.
Yes.
So it is also a challenge to me. It reduces the profits.
To a farmer like John, how can you advise him to work along and around these whole changes that are happening right now in the world?
Well, in as much as we cannot change the sun from heating up, in as much as we cannot change the landslides or the floods that are happening, we must adapt. And what this looks like for farmers like John is to use crops that are more adaptive to the weather, making sure that they're not affected by the weather patterns. When you look at the coffee, you could get the Robusta to make sure it's more climate change resilient. Yeah.
Nice. And you looked at the farm. Would you encourage farmers like John to have cows on their farms?
Yes, I would encourage them to have actually animals on their farm, because the diversity provides that if you have a farm, you're going to be able to feed the animals, and the animals are going to be able to bring about that production through the manure they provide. Your output increases and you won't lack what to feed even the animals themselves. So it's highly encourageable to have a diverse farm that sustains itself on the way it is. Because if you don't, you would need to go outside to buy the fertilizers which the animals could have provided for. A farm should be diverse, and since it's involved more in agriculture, that's why you need to add things like vegetables. Because if you have tomatoes, you have green peppers or cabbage, even on a small scale land, then it benefits you more as a farmer because you're yielding, you're selling some, and you're using some for consumption. And that's where the vegetables come in, because everyone buys them on the market. Yeah.
So, in summary, the key message from Denise for farmers facing a changing climate is to diversify and include livestock. Animals can benefit crops by providing manure, and crops in turn can feed animals. Also, it makes farmers more resilient. If you have a variety of enterprises and one of them fails, then there are others that can make up for the shortfall.
Now the answer to the mystery. What's cheap, safe, healthy, quick, and above all, very, very tasty? John is a busy young man. Finding time to cook is always a challenge. And the temptation is to cut corners and end up with something that's not always as tasty or as healthy as it could be. So we've invited Jimmy Agaba from CREC, the Center for Research in Energy and Energy Conservation, to come and show us how to cook one of John's favorite meals, meat stew with vegetables, both quickly and cheaply. Jimmy, you already started?
Yes, I have already started.
So John, this is the surprise I was telling you about.
Okay. What is this?
It's called an electronic pressure cooker.
It is a nice one.
Nice one. So Jimmy,
Yes.
let's switch it to explain to John what it is, what it does, and
Okay.
so take it from there.
This is an electronic pressure cooker which uses electricity while cooking, and it is energy efficient. It is time saving. It doesn't need a lot of monitoring when you are cooking, and it is more reliable, flexible, and it gives you more time to do your cooking as you do other activities. I'm going to show you how it can do that practically and how best it can save for you electricity. We are going to use this meter which will show you how much units you will have spent.
So Jimmy,
Yes.
what are we going to do now?
We are going to do the cooking. Within a few minutes, our food will be ready.
So
We are going to put our cable into the power source, which is here. And then we put our meter, when it is plugged in here, into after hearing that sound, then that shows that electricity is already flowing into our EPC, and then we do the frying. So we are going to press our salty button, and then after that we shall press our start button.
So first the oil, quickly followed by the onions. Smells great already.
Onions are ready, then we can put in our green paper. Now let us put in our meat.
Finally. It only takes a few minutes to fry the food to bring out its flavor. What's great is that the rest of the process is completely automatic.
So we now shift from salty, then we start the pressure cooking.
You said how many minutes?
30 minutes.
So Jimmy,
Yes.
what is the purpose of pressure cooking rather than boiling?
1, it will take less time in cooking. 2, it will make the food soft. And 3, all the nutrients will be preserved in there. And also, it will help reduce on the energy consumption.
Whoa! So now all that we have to do is wait 30 minutes, meaning John could use this time to carry on with his farming work. And if he gets back late, the food is automatically kept warm for him. And there we are! It's ready!
I love men that can cook. So what's going on?
How did you know?
But I'm here and I'm going to test. Let's see what you cook.
She even brought plates.
Yes. I can't wait. 3 grown-up men. Let's see if you can compare to my home cook.
So now let us release our pressure, our steam. So now we are going to open.
Yes. Okay.
This looks delicious. But it's not only stews that can be cooked. Vegetables can be steamed, even matoke, and fish, beans. So many things can be cooked with an electric pressure cooker. Jimmy,
Yes.
this is really tender, tasty, delicious. And we cooked it at
Just 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
But wait, doesn't it take a lot of electricity?
Actually, we calculated this unit and we realized that it has taken just half a unit, 0.5 kilowatt hours.
Sure.
Yes.
Half a unit.
Half a unit.
It is
Yes.
too cheap.
So that is cheaper than charcoal, firewood, and gas.
So John,
Yes.
what do you think of the electric pressure cooker?
Really, I'm so surprised about it because I've been in position to save time to engage in other activities.
That's what I told you. we know how to deal with the time.
And also encourage savings, like on fuels. Yeah, and then you will be able now to expand on your farm by getting that extra amount which you have been using on charcoal and firewood. Now you will be investing it into your farm.
That is nice.
It does a good job. It's really
Definitely.
Makes it easy for men to cook.
good. John, unfortunately, that's the only time we have for you. But we promise we'll be back. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
As for you people at home, we'll see you on the next episode of
Shamba Shape Up Uganda!